Good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's On the Sofa. Hope everybody's fine and coping with the heat. It's been a bit better here today. We've had a bit of a breeze, so the air's actually moving, which is good. So, first of all, which I forgot last week, and I do apologise, want to wish Daz all the best. He's had a bit of a operation on his knee. So we wish you a very speedy recovery, Daz, and hope to see you back soon at the county grounds. And apologies that I forgot to mention it last week. It looks like we're okay on Facebook tonight. Fingers crossed it stays like that. We're going out on all 3 channels, so that's good. Going to bring Brick on, and then we can introduce our guests.
Hello.
Hello. You okay?
Hello, how are we? Yeah.
You're right.
Extraordinarily hot. Yeah, we're very hot, but there we are. Who isn't, in this particular moment?
Yeah. I think it's just one of those things we have to get used to.
Yeah, read you a statement. Can I just read you a statement that's just come out from Swindon? It's regarding Friday and the friendly in Spain. It's just come out. Swindon Town can confirm an altercation involving Ian Holloway and a member of the opposition occurred in the 89th minute following an incident of unsportsmanlike conduct by one of the opposition players off the field, which resulted in Ian Holloway being shown a red card. So that's just come out from Swindon. Thought we'd get that win in early on, that following the 1-0 win at Costa City on Friday night. We'll discuss friendlies, of course, a little bit later.
Excellent. So women had a friendly yesterday against Kidderminster Harriers. Say that quick. And they had a good, I think it was 8-2 it ended. So good for them to have a bit of a run out with that. That was at Foundation Park yesterday. And I know people do get very excited about these. And I'm going to show you. There we go. Our 2026-27 Raw chart. Okay, so our fixture Raw chart, I have them here. So they will be ready for the first game of the season. So any OSC members can come and pick up one of those. And just as a prompt, let you know that membership is open. So it's £5 for the year, and a few benefits. You can go online and have a look at those. There's plenty of players paying for it now. We had a bit of a problem with that. So, and also we do have Matchday Draw subscription membership. So you can have a subscription to the Matchday Draw. You can have 1 ticket, 2 tickets, 3 tickets, how many you want, and they'll go in the draw automatically every match day. So that's available on our website to do. So that's £23 for one number, and multiples of that for the season. Okay, so we have got Dawn Prosser on with us tonight. Dawn is the manager of Swindon Night Shelter. As you know, Swindon Night Shelter in the Haven is our charity of the year for, this coming year. So Vic, are you ready for Dawn, or did you want to say anything prior to it? Okay,
let's get Dawn on. Yes, indeed, absolutely. Yeah.
I'm just going to do that now. There we go.
Hello.
Hi, Dawn.
Oh, hi.
You okay?
You all right, Dawn?
I'm all right, thank you. Yep.
Good.
To be here.
Good. Okay, Chris, you're going to stay with us for this, aren't you? So, yeah, we'll do. Dawn, very much nice to see you. Thank you very much indeed. What we wanted to do in the next 10 minutes or so is find out a little bit about the night shelter, what you actually do, how much work goes into it. I would imagine bucketfuls of it, quite frankly. So can you briefly explain what night shelter is?
It is. So did you want me to try and do put a little PowerPoint slide out, which has got all the photos in it?
Excellent. Yeah, if you can,
Dawn, try and do that?
You can.
Okay, I'm going to try, but I know I have to press that. Okay, share screen. Yeah. Okay, so I will now try and get into the PowerPoint.
Okay.
Can you still see me? No?
We can see you. Can't see the thing at the moment.
Can't see the PowerPoint.
No,
That'd be-
I don't. No, I've just share screen. I've done that bit. So, but that's all I know how to. Oh dear. So it would have been.
Oh well, never mind.
It had lots
We
of
could
photos.
just.
Never mind. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So Swindon Night Shelter began in like 2009. It was just once a week in a church, and we had all the homeless there. People could come up, have a shower, have something to eat, and have a safe place to sleep on a Friday night. So that happened for 10 years. And then in 2019, we managed to get a day centre. So we have a day centre right by you in the county ground, right around the corner. And in that day centre, homeless and vulnerably housed can come in. They can have a shower, they can wash their clothes, they can have breakfast, lunch, access to computers and phones. They can play a game of pool, watch the football on the TV, and also get access to support workers. So that happened in 2019. We were still running the night shelter to COVID, but after COVID, the government then obviously they put them all in hotels for a while. And within that time, we managed to get from the government some money to change our porter cabins, which is on the site. And we now have 14 guests. So we have 14 residents living in the emergency accommodation. We've got 11 single rooms. We've got 2 double rooms. And an emergency bed service, and we have 14 people. They get referred by the council. We look after them, and then they move on to the next more permanent accommodation. So that's our emergency accommodation. That runs alongside the day centre, which has about 40 a day. And we also run for anybody in Swindon, not just homeless and vulnerably housed, anybody struggling. We run affordable food clubs. So they run 3 times a week. And we serve 1,040 people who choose their own shopping. They come for fresh, chilled, frozen, and store cupboard items. And we serve over 1,000 people a month.
Well, you've kind of half covered what I was going to ask you about how people get referred to you for accommodation. So, what criteria are we looking at here?
Luckily, we don't have to do that bit. The council decide who they want to have in, so who prioritise. If they've got a local connection in Swindon, they do really well. We work with the council all the time. They're on teams, and so if they are priority need and they are local connection, they usually get housed in some sort of form or fashion. So they'll come here to our emergency accommodation, which is like a little travel lodge, basically, and then security are on from 5 in the evening to 8 o'clock in the morning, which makes it a really safe place to be, because we probably take the most chaotic. We take people rough sleeping, coming out of mental health institutions, on probation, coming straight out of prison, or have been rough sleeping for a very long time. So they tend to be a bit chaotic at times.
I mean, obviously you want money. I mean, obviously that goes without saying. So we'll leave that there. But there's also other stuff that you're interested in as well. It's not simply cash, is it? There's other stuff too.
No. There's lots of ways people can get involved. Obviously, people can donate food for our store cupboard items, for example. We don't have much donated for that. We have lots of chilled, which we organise in the evenings, surplus from supermarkets. But the actual store cupboard items, we spend about £2,800 a month, and we have to get grants for that. So just donating a food item, we have a list on our Facebook page, which has got all the different ones we particularly want all the time, like coffee, squash, fruit juice, all of those things, washing pods. So we have a list on our Facebook, and that gives you all the different items that we need that just help us to make it sustainable. Really, people do pay a bit towards it, but it's 2/3 off, so we're buying it in at full price and then giving it to them at 2/3 off, which obviously is not great economic sense. So we do that. So we have food. The next way people can help, obviously, apart from finance, is then volunteering. They can do a few hours, or if they're part of a business, we do volunteer teams every month. so people can come along and help maintain the garden, do all sorts of things for that. We also get donations from Amazon, and that they give us 3 pallets of stuff. We price it 75% off. And then we have a general public sale once a month somewhere in Swindon. And so people can just come along to the tabletop, get a bargain and raise money that way. So they're having a bargain. Canned drinks are 10 for £1. And it's all in date. It's all brand new items. Household, we've got everything in the garden, DIY. It could be anything. We have about 400 crates at every sale. So there's plenty for everybody. And you can, even if you want to sell it on. So we have lots of people from all different backgrounds go to that. So coming to a tabletop sale helps. You can help up price stuff during the week. We also give away rucksacks, clothes, bedding, all of those things. So there's a list of 3 lots of things, and that's clothes, rucksacks, new pants, men's boxer shorts, not Y fronts, but men's boxer shorts. We don't like Y fronts, but new pants for men. We are using them all the time, and so because people come for showers, they come to wash their clothes. Quite often they're needing a new pair of pants, and sometimes they're not very good with them because they're maybe on drugs and stuff, and so they might soil them quite regularly. So we're always giving them pants. So that's again is on the Facebook post, and as well as rucksacks and tents. We sometimes need that, and bedding. We're always needing bedding because the residents are dreadful with their duvet covers. And so when we first started, we had all lovely matching duvet covers. Everything was beautiful, and then by the time they'd put cigarette lights through them and all sorts of stuff, and the duvets basically walked out with them. We just basically put them in the bin and we're in the hammer. So, and we do that, but we also supply for home starter packs if you're moving on, like all your like frying pans, saucepans, bedding, dining room stuff. So because we do that as a pack, then you can also donate those, and part of that is the bedding. So, and that does, therefore, all people struggling in Swindon, we have a system for that. So bedding, quite often, we can always use, without doubt, as long as it's clean and tidy, and you'd sleep in it.
Chris,
do you want to come in?
These are the lists that Dawn was talking about.
There.
So we have those lists. Mm-hmm. They will be going in our next newsletter. And we'll also put them on our website as well. So there'll be a couple of places to look for those as well. So.
Yeah, we got some messages already. This is from Rich James, who I believe you know.
I do know Rich
he
James.
Says, he says, hello, Dawn, nice to see you. And do you need help to collect at the football club? Well, we're going to work out the mechanics of collection, all that kind of stuff. But I guess you always do need help, don't you? It's that simple.
Always need help for doing something. Yes, we're building a rockery at the moment. We're doing stuff in the garden. We've got a gardening club. And we also have, we do activities, a program our activities to help prevent homelessness and work experience. So quite often we need people to help lead something. I've got someone doing, for example, art therapy, somebody doing woodwork with people. So we're always needing people for that as well. So it doesn't matter what your skill is or just a pair of willing hands, we're always in need.
And Sean says, hi, Sean. So one of your vans the other day, is that donation to food from supermarkets? Was at Aldi's? Other supermarkets are available, clearly. But was there one at Aldi's?
There was. We're always there. We've got the other ones being sign written soon. We're completely in order to get enough food for the 120 families and the 40 and the breakfast. We're always picking up surplus food. And at Aldi, we're picking up the store cupboard items. So we're buying stuff from Aldi. That's usually why we're in Aldi. Sometimes we're picking up fresh, but mostly, and in the evening, we pick up from Tesco's, Waitrose, and M&S.
Right.
Not just surplus food, M&S food.
No, M&S food. Excellent. So there's loads of ways that people can help, and you can contact yourselves, or you can come through us, and we can point people in the right direction as well. So
I can't hear Chris.
Oh, sorry, you can't hear me. Vic, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right.
I can hear.
Sorry, Dawn. So either speak to the night shelter directly, or they can come through us as well. So there's lots of ways to help and everything, because we can promote that.
Garden implements, if I might use that phrase to you, you're always keen to get them, aren't you?
I have, yeah, we need a few bits of gardening. I have a list actually, which I haven't given you, but I have got a list of current garden tools I need. So I can send them to you, Chris, on an email.
Yeah.
So I can send you the list. I've just done one actually, so I will get that done.
Excellent.
I can get that to you.
Fantastic. Brilliant.
Brilliant. So if anybody wants to volunteer,
Snowflakes falling down.
yes, apparently so. If people do want to volunteer and come and help you, what do they do? Where are you? All that kind of information.
So we're in the Haven, which is Queen's Drive, which is SN31AR, right round from the county grounds. So you can either email admin@swindonnightshelter.org.uk, or you can go onto our Facebook and find it anyway. Or you can fill in an application, a website inquiry saying you'd like to volunteer. And the process is that basically you come along for a chat. We'll find out what your skills are, what you'd like to be doing. I interview you usually. And then from there, we have a volunteer app, which is being launched in 2 weeks' time. It's very exciting. It's been 3 months in the making. So what you'll do then is you'll be able to have a link, and you'll see what ones are available each week or each month. And you'll be able to sign up for a slot. So that'll make it really good. You'll see all the news for Swindon Night Shelter. You'll see all the things that are available, and then you'll be able to sign up for that and get started.
Well,
Excellent.
Mark says, would it be possible for Dawn to be in the supporters lounge, which is the Legends Lounge at the football club, on a match day to speak to? So
we can organise that.
Yeah, we can organise that if you don't mind coming on.
No, I don't mind coming along. You can come along and say hello. I used to go to church there in the Legends Lounge. A long time ago.
Marvellous. Well, that'd be great. And then you can talk to people before the game, etc., and explain what you do to them, because it always works face to face, Chris, doesn't it? We find on a Saturday when people come and talk.
Very much so. Very much.
Yeah,
so.
no, I'm happy to do that. And just we'll find a date, and very happy to do that.
Excellent. We'll sort that out. Thanks, Mark, for that suggestion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. I think we've taken up enough of your time, Dawn. We'll talk to you throughout the course of the year, if that's okay. And
no, that's all right.
Obviously, we'll be in touch and keep this going, and because it's a wonderful organisation, and we'd like to help as much as we possibly can. So we appreciate it.
And thank you for choosing us. Thank you for choosing us. We're really grateful. Yeah.
It's our pleasure. It's our pleasure. Thank you very much, Dawn. I'll be in touch soon. Okay.
Thanks, Dawn. We'll let you go now. Thank you.
Okay,
bye.
Bye. That's Dawn Prosser, the manager of the night shelter in Swindon, and explaining some of the work that they do. I mean, boy, oh boy, there's a lot of it, isn't there? So we wish them well. And obviously we'll support them throughout the course of the next 12 months.
And we've been over there and we've had a visit. We've had a look round, and it's amazing. It's amazing what they do and everything like that, and the volunteers, and especially the emergency accommodation. As she said, it is like the travel lodge. It's yeah. Okay, so we bring our guests on. So we have Rob.
Evening all.
There we
Hello.
go. We have Gus.
Hi, everybody.
Tonight
Hi, Gus.
Jamie.
Evening
There we
all.
go.
Hiya.
Okay, I will see you later.
Chris is off to fix her flag, which has fallen down apparently behind her, and covering that Scottish one. That I make no further comment. Right, let's go through Saturday night then. Easy, wasn't it, Rob? No problem. Got through that without a struggle. Really not difficult, was it?
Is there ever an England game that's easy, Rick? It's every time we play in knockout tournaments, isn't it? It's always the same. There's controversy, there's excitement, there's always a talking point, and inevitably with England, at some point in the knockout phases, we were going to go to extra time, weren't we? Always happens. Thankfully, it didn't follow with the inevitable conclusion, which is usually penalties. We managed to get it done in extra time, but That may still be to come, of course, with 2 games left to play potentially. So we shall see. But it's just fabulous, isn't it? Fabulous for the country that we're in another World Cup semi-final, and now the real important business they need to get done against a very good Argentinian side, but certainly a beatable Argentinian side.
Yeah, reigning world champions. Of course, there will be 2 more matches, because don't forget, there's the unforgettable and very exciting 3rd and 4th place playoff, which
nobody wants to take part in.
Every footballer in the world wants to do that rather than the World Cup final, don't they? Yes. Gus, now you are completely an England fan, now that there's all Scandinavian interest is now over. What was your view of the game?
Well, first of all, congratulations to all longtime England fans. This is exciting. I know this has not happened. This is the 4th time ever that you've made it to the semifinals. I am actually a complete supporter. I've started a habit of drinking an English beer during the game, and this is my latest favorite.
Very good.
I had to look far and wide to find it, but that worked out well. And it just occurred to me in watching the game the other night, you got to win. It's single knockout. It's a long tournament. It's a long, grueling tournament. And England is gritty, gutsing it out, not always winning pretty, but who cares? Winning is winning. I did notice online, I heard somebody say that there was the Wire of God goal.
Yes.
Which I thought was awesome.
Very good.
I looked up the Hand of God. I've heard of it, but I never actually saw the play. Okay, first of all, he hit it with his hand. Second of all, he was offsides. Where are the rules? Why aren't we following rules?
They could have disallowed it for anything.
Sorry to bring back ancient history here, but anyway.
Out jumping Peter Shilton for one, they could have done that. Anything.
I'm having so much fun. It's fun to be watching England, and I hope you go all the way. I'm a big fan.
Jamie, they're on about a 64-team World Cup now, which would presumably start in January and finish the next December. I mean, it's a long tournament, as Gus has just said. And I switched on the television this evening. There was no Wimbledon. There was no football. It all seems very odd. What was your view of Saturday night?
Yeah, I'm more concerned. Yeah, I think I don't know how many stages that actually means you'd actually play or games, but can you imagine the cost that's involved? And if you're a supporter, I know that there's supporters I've seen that have gone out for the entirety of the tournament, but in all seriousness, one, who's got that amount of time to take off, and two, what is it going to cost? I know the US is slightly different because it's the first tournament. You can resell the tickets and make a huge profit out of it. I had a message from someone earlier that I know that lives in Atlanta who said he'd just checked the ticket site, and for a halfway decent ticket, the cheapest cost currently is $24,000. If it's not one of the what he described, if you don't want to be in the gods and not see anything, then you're talking about more than $20,000 currently on the resale site, which is a bit ludicrous. But I guess my question with the 64 tournament, who's not going to qualify? I mean,
yeah,
there's only a couple of teams we've kind of worked out this year we've never heard of before, but you might as well just put all of them through. It's another money-making exercise, isn't it, basically? We all know that. I think this has worked quite well. I think there's been some great games in this one, and actually in extending it with the amount of teams in it has worked really nicely. And actually now, I don't think there is easy games where there used to be. There's been some really good games. I just think leave it. It's just another FIFA way of making a lot of money out of fans and supporters and out of corporates for the sake of it.
Yeah, I have to say they go celebrity spotting in all the games, don't they? And most of them don't look interested. They're on their phones. And B, we don't know who they are. So it's quite funny, really, when you actually watch these people. You think, who are they and why have they got free tickets? Right. 64 teams then, Rob. Where do you go with that? I mean, might as well make it 128 and be done with it, aren't you, really?
We go straight knockout with 128, Vic. Somebody goes home 6 months before the tournament finishes. It's just bizarre, isn't it? But I don't know. We'll see if it gets to 64. Let's not worry too much about the next World Cup. Let's focus on this one as far as I'm concerned at the moment, because thankfully we're still in it. And I think you'd have got relatively long odds to make at least the semi-finals at the start of the tournament. So I think there were plenty of defensive worries. I will just mention now my new favourite player at Premier League level, which is Dan Burn, without a shadow of a doubt, because he's just immense when he comes on. And I'd love to see him in our shirt, the size of him. That would be fabulous, wouldn't it? But I don't think that's going to happen. But no, you've got to take it at face value, haven't you, at the moment? And they have probably, I would say at this point in time, they've achieved the maximum we could have hoped for. Now we're in dreamland. And that's all you can do when you get to this stage. It's, can they put one more performance together to get to the World Cup final? And then when you're in the final, can you hold your nerve? Because that's what we almost did in the Euros when we drew with Italy and then got knocked out on penalties. But we just got a little bit too deep in the second half and ended up conceding a relatively late equaliser. And that's the problem when you get to this stage. There is so much riding on it. Like the Belgian goalkeeper who threw one out in front of him, the Man United keeper, last night, didn't he? Or a couple of nights ago. And you think, well, suddenly the whole of your country has watched you do that. And that's what's cost your country a place potentially in the next round of the biggest tournament in the world. It's real high pressure stakes now. We worry about a cold Tuesday night penalty at Harrogate with 2 minutes left. I don't think we're quite in the same league as this, are we? Let's be honest. So it's a massive, massive pressure. Well, these two games will certainly be massive, massive pressure games. Spain, France could be anything because both of those teams could easily cancel each other out and it'd be a really boring game. Or it could be 5-5 because they're both really attacking teams normally. And us against Argentina has got so much history. There is so much history towards it. I mean, Gus has already alluded to hand of God, but of course we've had the David Beckham getting sent off, losing on penalties. Actually, we did beat them in Japan in 2002. So we don't lose every time to Argentina. It just feels like we do. So today, this is one that we need to peg back on the scoreboard, don't we? It's one of those that they seem to have had the upper hand in crucial matches. It's time for us to get one on the board.
With a penalty, of course, in Japan as well. Was it Beckham penalty?
It was Beckham,
because John, the commentator, oh God, why does his name escape me? I can't remember now. Anyway, he just said, hold on to your cups and saucers. Then Beckham says, time to smash them now. So that was that one, wasn't it? John Motson, obviously. What am I thinking? Yeah, it's the Heat. And of course, we should not forget 1966 and Antonio Rattan, who got sent off, Gus, and wouldn't leave the pitch. And it went on and then on and on and on. And Jeff Hurst got the winning goal. So way back to 1966, there's the Malvinas, there's all that kind of stuff going on. And the one thing, Gus, we've never played against Lionel Messi. And will Dan Burns be able to find him? Because where is he? Oh, he's down there. Where is he?
Yeah. First of all, let me just say that when they show the celebrities on the feed, I have no idea who these people are, most of them. I mean, a few like Leonardo DiCaprio or whatever you've heard of, but most of them mean nothing to me at all. Some of them are soccer players, football players, so you maybe know who they are. I would say, I know there's a lot of history, and Rob just went through a lot of it with Argentina. And I've watched a few of their games. I watched Lionel Messi. He seems amazing. I've heard of him, of course. I'd never really seen him play until now. I'd never seen him play until now at all. But if our substitutes, or our, what do they call them now, are the ones who come on last, they don't call them scrubs anymore or anything. They're, they have a new name for them. If they come on and play as well as they played against in the last game, oh my gosh. They came on and just gave a boost of adrenaline. I have a new favorite player, Jed Spence. That guy is, at least for 33 minutes in the last game, was everywhere and fast and almost scored twice. I mean, he had the one where he almost created a penalty kick and it got that brought back, but he was something. And also Dan Burn. I mean, there was one header just when he got in, he did a header. He crushed a guy named Ostergaard, number 4, and then just gave a fist pump, and it kind of brought everything up a little bit, Good thing you didn't get in trouble for it, but it was, our substitutes did what they were supposed to do. I don't know what the coach told them, but it must have been like, look, you guys have got to make this happen. You 4 get in there, 3, and then Burn came in extra time. So it was exciting. I mean, I think they can do it. They've got numbers. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I want to mention one other thing. Quiet hero Pickford, or maybe he's not quiet. I mean, he seems to me like he's having an amazing World Cup. Maybe there are examples where he's really screwed up, but I can't think of one.
I think he's now got the record for the most World Cup appearances for an England goalkeeper. I think I'm right in saying that, hasn't he? So many congratulations to him. Jamie, there was a bit of, how can we put this, argy-bargy between Bellingham and the coach, because Tuchel said wasn't very pleased with the performance. And then Bellingham said, well, perhaps he doesn't know what it's like playing in those conditions, which, you know, we're living in 30-degree heat and we're finding it bad enough, but playing in 40 degrees in Miami with all that humidity must have been draining. So I don't know what the spirit's like. They say it's very good, but there was a bit of, bit going on there, wasn't there?
I having listened to it live, I do think there's a little bit of the media stirring that up. I think there was more than a little bit of lost in translation. But actually, I don't really mind that, because quite frankly, I'd quite happily have your coach saying, I don't care whether we won or not, I want better. And actually, I'm quite happy you got players pushing back going, you know what, Gov, I've really given a shift. But actually, I'm quite happy with both of those positions. I think for me, it sounds like a team that care. They seem very together. I think there was a lot of criticism of Tuchel and in picking a squad rather than certain individuals, but I don't think anyone's arguing that now. I think what you've got is absolutely a team spirit. I don't think either of those last 2 performances, anyone can say anything other than that team is as together I think we've ever seen. And I thought it was very interesting. You got some of the so-called kind of bigs of the past, if you like, the kind of Nevilles and the Beckham era, who were starting to admit that there was never really that team spirit, that collective. We're there to get through it, whatever happens together. And I think whatever happens about whether it's Bellingham or Kane or whoever, they generally seem to be in it for each other. The bit I really like is you watch after the final whistle and the number of players going to each other and celebrating together. There's nothing this Argentinian, I think, is very much a very different atmosphere. If you look at the way that they're set up and the way that they've finished games, I think someone described it as 10 players there to make Messi great. And give him a legacy of a second World Cup. I think that they're built around him as that one figurehead. I don't think the England team are at the moment. I quite like the fact that somehow or other they've ended up with a load of players that genuinely don't care whether they play 1 minute or 10 minutes, or they're, to Gus's point, they're finishers or starters. I think they're all going to be there to give their all. My worry is how much have they given so far in what was undoubtedly horrendous heat the other night. So do you be brave enough and swap around a couple of people and bring some fresh legs in? Rice looked absolutely out on his feet and clearly hadn't been well as well. That's my only worry, is can you do that again for another 2 games? I don't think it's going to be quite as hot in Atlanta from what they were saying, but it's still not going to be kind of winter weather. So what's that condition going to having taken out of them? That's my only question, I guess.
I think isn't Atlanta's got a roof on it, hasn't it? Got air conditioning, if I remember rightly. So hopefully it won't be too bad. Hi, Mark. Argentina are not the team they used to be. Plus, so far they've had an easy ride in the competition so far. Come on, England.
Still scored the most goals out of every team, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, Rob, there is history between the two sides. We know that. And then you've got to beat the best teams to win a competition, haven't you? I mean, it could be France or Spain in the final. So for goodness sake, these are arguably the 3 best teams in the competition.
Well, I'll make it 4, because I did look this morning, and actually in terms of world ranking, before the tournament started, it is actually the top 4 in the world.
Yeah.
I'm surprised, but that is the way it's worked out. It's worked out exactly as FIFA would have hoped it should. I mean, I sort of share Jamie's view at the moment. The only thing that worries me in terms of our game on Wednesday is the fact that we seem to have travelled more miles than everybody else. We've played at altitude. We've had to play that game with 10 men for best part of 50 minutes with the extra time on top. we've also now had to play in 40 degrees of heat. You saw the impact it was having on players. And let's be honest, it wasn't just the England players, because although we never felt comfortable, Norway in extra time were out on their feet, virtually every player. They could barely get forward. So you can tell from that how much of an impact it's having. And if you've had that continuously for the last, what's it been now, more than a month, then inevitably there are going to be some players who are fatigued. And I do think we probably will have to make a couple of changes to the starting lineup. I hope Declan Rice is over his illness, because you could clearly see that without him in the side, we didn't quite carry the same threat in midfield that we have done. And his set pieces were definitely not the quality that you'd normally expect from him. But the one thing that you can say, and again, it's been borne out already by the comments from the others, is that there is team spirit there, the like of which we've never seen before. I think when we've been watching England of recent past, and by recent past, I mean the last 30 years, we've always had this club v country argument, haven't we? Where you might have 5 players from Man United in the squad, 4 players from Liverpool, 3 players from Chelsea, and they all stay in their own little cliques and they don't mix or socialise with the others because of all that goes on for the other 3.5 years when a World Cup's not happening. We don't have that this year. And maybe there'd be a little bit of an advantage there with the fact that the Premier League has expanded in the way that it has, that you've actually got players from clubs all the way through the Premier League in that lineup now, and some players who ply their trade abroad as well. So maybe you don't have quite the same cliques that you used to have, but it's clearly evident that Thomas Tuchel has built a team spirit there, similar in a way to what Gareth Southgate was building himself. Let's just not give all the credit to Tuchel, because I think Southgate had taken this team probably as far as he could, but certainly he had laid the foundations which Tuchel is now building on. But he is a manager who doesn't, clearly, as that interview at the end of the game on Saturday, he was not accepting anything other than the best performance. And if you don't give the best performance, he's going to come out and tell you that. So Jamie's right. The Bellingham interview afterwards, that was the media stirring things up. There's nothing in terms of an issue between the two. That was just him reacting to the fact that he's just played 120 minutes or best part of 120 minutes in 40 degrees of heat. I think I've got every right to be a bit angry at that point in time if somebody throws a microphone under my nose. Yeah. So I don't think there's any doubt whatsoever that that's not going to impact the team spirit at all. I think, in fact, they'll probably make a real joke out of it for the rest of the next couple of days. But we really could have done with another day or two's break, I think, before we play on Wednesday, because that's been such a schedule we've already had to put up with, that only having a 4-day turnaround between that quarterfinal and the semi-final is that's a bit of a worry for me, I have to say.
And we should also remember, of course, that these players have come through a hard European season. It's not, they've played in the Premier League, they played in Germany in some respects, and this is a tough gig, isn't it? And then they'll be back for 2 weeks. They'll have a 2-week break, and then they'll be back into the hurly-burly of it once again. So these people aren't robots. We should always remember that. Mind games starting already. Argentina have asked FIFA if they can play in their away kit 1986. That was the blue one, if I remember rightly, wasn't it, for that one? Harry Kane needs to step up on Wednesday. What about that, Gus? I mean, Harry Kane, he could be on the same plateau as Bobby Moore. He could be up there with Bobby Moore as a captain of England who does what everybody wants to do, lift a World Cup, which is an extraordinary thing. I mean, how do you think he's performed?
Well, this Jude Bellingham, too many Americans call him Jude Bellingham. I think you would call him Jude Bellingham.
Yes.
He is obviously an amazing player, but I think in a lot of ways he has gotten the benefit of the fact that Kane takes so much attention. There was the first goal that he scored in the last game where I think there was a center pass over Kane. No, it's the previous game. It was the previous game. There was a crossing pass that went over Kane. Kane had 2 guys on him, and Bellingham was kind of open in the back. He's almost, Kane in some ways almost seems to be being used as a decoy because he's so good, and he's kind of, he's kind of heliocentric. Everybody's kind of attracted to him, and it's making room. I'm assuming he doesn't mind that, but now people are going to be looking at Bellingham, and Kane's going to be open. You got to cover them both. And I think maybe the next couple of games we're really going to see Kane coming into his own, which obviously would be great to see. It's also worth pointing out that so you may be aware of this, but in the U.S. in the last week, Erling Haaland has become a media sensation. He went to a boot shop in Dallas, and he's just been all over the place and just met people on the street and done all kinds of crazy things. And so there were a lot of Americans clearly supporting him in the last game, which turned out to not matter because he was basically a non-factor. And I'm thinking he was a non-factor because England's defense targeted him and kept him from getting the ball. To some extent, the Norwegian players didn't pass him the ball, which doesn't make a lot of sense. But maybe they couldn't. Maybe they couldn't. And so maybe that's down to the English coach and the English players just being really good and being capable. If I'm not mistaken, three of our backline defenders, Gay, Stones, and another one, play with Haaland, so they know him. And so can they do that to Messi? My whole point, the whole reason I'm saying this now, can they do that to Messi? Rob's just laughed. I've never seen Messi play except for the one game I watched. I don't really know. Why not? If you can do it to Haaland, why not Messi?
Well, the thing is, not many England defenders, not many defenders have seen Messi play because they can't stop him. I mean, he's an incredible footballer, and I mean, he's playing in Miami at the minute. Obviously,
that's true.
David Beckham's team, but even now, he's still one of the world's greatest footballers, and you cannot take that away from him. And if they could stop Messi, the trouble is, there's probably another couple of talented Argentinians in that side who could. So it's going to be a titanic struggle. I don't think we can run away from that. Hi, Tony, bring it on. Let them play in their away kit. We'll still put it right from years ago. Mind games. Right, we're going to go around now and see what you think, and then we'll get on to Swindon matters because, of course, we got friendly tomorrow night at Chippenham. Not quite the same level of anticipation, I'm guessing, as Wednesday night, but still looking forward to it. Jamie, what's your view of Wednesday? How's it going to go?
There's head and heart that goes with this. I've got a horrible feeling it'll be extra time again. I don't see us keeping a clean sheet. I think it could be a 2-1 victory again. And actually, I do see this maybe being Kane's game because I think he's been very selfless in the last couple of games. And I just hope, I'd like to see Kane actually shooting more. I think the one bit for me that Morgan Rogers did when he came on is actually had a shot. And I think that's what I hope we'll do a little bit more, is actually have a bit of a go. I agree with what we said earlier about, I think goalkeeper is going to be a bit more nervous. This is kind of make or break time, So actually have a bit of a go and see follow. And we've seen Bellingham and Kane can both follow in on rebounds, but I think we might squeak through. I just hope we don't focus over the next few days too much on the final. Let's just take one step at a time.
Yeah, absolutely, Rob. I mean, 11 Englishmen have won a World Cup final. Let that sink in. I was lucky.
I'd make it 12 because we did have somebody on the bench that day as well, didn't we? But I get your point.
Yeah. I was lucky enough to interview regularly one of them, Alan Ball, who sadly is no longer with us. But when you think about that, that's quite a thing, isn't it? I mean, these players can go on to become legends, can't they? So does that weigh on them, do you think, on Wednesday?
If I'm honest, I don't think that particular issue will weigh heavily on them. I think it's more the pitfalls that potentially could come across during the game. We talked about Messi. Gus has explained the situation pretty well. We know he's quality. There's no doubt about that. But it's very evident that Argentina, until the quarterfinal, had been playing for Messi, as opposed to they were becoming a bit of a team. But that quarterfinal, they were fortunate. There's no doubt at all about that. The sending off, which you can probably argue for Switzerland, was a second yellow card because he did dive, but it's not the sort of thing you get given very often. And at that point of the game, Switzerland were a better team. And if you look back at games past that, Egypt were a better team for 75 minutes against Argentina. And they really didn't look convincing at all. So they're there to be shot at. I think you're right, Jamie, in terms of I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet, but I have no doubt that we have got the firepower to be able to win this game. And I want us to get it done in 90 because I think we might struggle in extra time. But I think we're more than capable of that. So I am optimistic.
Well, let's have a look. Kevin says we'll be playing as FIFA. We'll be playing FIFA as well because they want Argentina to win. Dave says FIFA already know who's going to win. It's not a lot of love for FIFA, is there? I think generally there isn't. It's a big Wednesday, actually, because I should say that Somerset are qualified for the quarterfinals of the T20, and that's at 4:30 in the afternoon. And then follow on to that, you got the World Cup semi-final. What's not to like about Wednesday as a sporting day? Amazing. Gus, you like our former player Stefani Megduranzi, had predicted England all the way from the start. So you're not going to change your mind, I don't suppose, are you?
No, for all the reasons that Rob just said, I think England's going to win. And I don't think it's going to be that close. I don't think it's going to be a particularly tough game. I don't think Argentina's been tested. I think they've gotten some good breaks. That Embolo red card, which, again, I'm learning a lot. I heard somebody, I love this. I heard an English person call him a right Wally for what he did. Which I didn't understand what that meant. I had to look it up. That it was a foolish thing for him to have done with a 1 yellow card. So I'm learning a lot, obviously here. And also, I've heard the word knackered more times than because the English team was knackered more times than I'd heard him. I'd never heard. People don't say that in America, so I'd like that a lot. Argentina squeaked by a bunch of poor teams or better teams that were better than you might have expected, I guess, and got lucky in a couple of other games, like the Switzerland game that looked better for them than it really was. They're relying on Messi. And I think, forget about all that. England's good. They're good.
Yeah.
Really good players. We've got really good depth. We've got a good coach, and we've got good finishers. Thank you, Jamie, for it's not subs, it's finishers. So why not? Why not England? Let's go on to the final. So my question, and I don't want to steal this from who do we want to play in the final?
Oh,
we want France and Spain to finish 8 aside. So the suspensions all over the place and lots of injuries.
You see, the thing you've missed here, Gus, is that we're all going into this feeling really nervous about it and thinking,
yeah.
You know, but you're being too positive. We can't cope with this. I mean, you know, it's hot. You're being positive. How are we going to cope with this? I can't, you know.
I think we win 3-1, but I don't think it's even close.
I tell you what, as Rob said, just why can't we do something easy? Like, you know, I said to somebody on Saturday night on the way out watching after the Norway game, why can't we win 3 or 4-0 against somebody and be done with it? You know, why does it always? It's a bit like Swindon, isn't it? Really, same sort of thing. So, well, a positive reaction, I think.
We'll save that. Go on. Save that for the final, Vic. We'll have the easy game in the final.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, yeah, we'll put Mr. Mbappe in his place and we'll win that one 4-0. That'll do nicely, won't it?
Right, put Dan Burn on him. Put Dan Burn on him.
It's amazing, isn't it? There's somebody like that. I'm just trying to think. You know, the equivalent would be Jack Charlton back in '66, wouldn't it? Sort of, you know, no nonsense, kick the ball away, kick the player, head the ball away player. And he's your man. He's a muck and bullets defender, isn't he? It's the same sort of.
You always know, Vic. You always know when there's a player that the commentators really want to say they want him on the pitch. When they call his first name Big, he doesn't become Dan Burn. He's Big Dan Burn.
He's Big Dan Burn.
Everybody calls him Big now.
Yeah.
By the way, John.
That was my favourite bit of commentary, was when he described it as bringing League Two football to the World Cup.
Yeah,
with his header. Which actually I think disturbed the opposition who saw that as virtual assault. And I thought it was just a great header.
By the way, John has been in touch. Can you let Gus know that the burglar is back in his house? They appear to have stolen all of his Swindon memorabilia. Did they also steal Jamie's stuff, or did he spend all his money on what appears to be a colossal TV? See you at Cardiff, says John. I think that might be your wife who's coming in and out, Gus.
Oh, it's not my wife. Yeah,
it's not a burglar. You're fine.
She just got back from a trip and she's unpacking.
Oh, right. Okay. But that's good because she's not putting stuff in something. So that's fine. That's the right way around. Right. Let's have a look. Now, I've got an email here which I wanted to read out. Oh, goodness. It's so hot, but, it's just like too much. I can't cope with all this. I know it's here somewhere. Oh, really? Okay. This is from George. So I'd like you to discuss this. As a matter of no interest at all, my prediction for next season are these. We have made 9th place on our own now, so I think we will finish 9th. There'll be another inquest into how a good squad of players could perform so inconsistently, and a rethink on the type of player we need to get out of the division. There'll be little or no work at the county ground, and it will start to look shabbier with every week. Our owner will be present, will represent the same plans for the Don Rogers stand, but there's still no obvious means of how to pay for it, and they'll be rejected by an even larger no vote. People still wonder why Clem Morfuni wants to own the club as it stumbles further up the blind alley it currently occupies, and the wide chasm between us and them will get much wider. Welcome to the 2026 7th season, Rob. How are you feeling after that?
Is George's second name Mr. Optimism? I mean, bless him. I don't blame him for being a little bit cynical, I have to say, because we've all got that cynical streak in us, haven't we? But I have to say, at this moment in time, anyone making any kind of predictions about next season is shooting in the wind, aren't they? Because we don't know yet what our team's going to look like. The vast majority of teams in this division have got no shape whatsoever to them as yet either. And if you look at most of the pre-season games that were played at the weekend, there were 3 or 4 trialists in almost every team. So I don't think anyone, until we start to see the product that we're going to see on the field, can really put any kind of credence behind a prediction for next season. I hope that what we see is a team that learnt from the mistakes from last year. I hope we put out a team that are going to be ultra competitive, because that's what Ian Holloway has said we weren't towards the back end of last season. But we all know the one thing that you need at any level these days is a squad. And if you look back to what happened last season, the biggest issue was the fact that we lost players in January for various different reasons that were absolutely crucial to our run-in, and we didn't bring in the type of replacements that we needed to take their place. So there was a big failure in the winter transfer window. Admittedly, you can't necessarily replace the likes of a Munro with the same style of player, but you've got to put out a better set of players than we did towards the back end of the season if you want success. So that's where they've got to learn, but they've also still got lots and lots of time to get this right. So let's not be too downbeat about our chances for this season at this stage, because we really do not have an idea what that team's going to look like.
Well, Sean says, is it first team tomorrow? Only asking, as usually mostly kids play the midweek local ones. Well, they've only played one here. Obviously, they played on Friday when Fletcher Holman got the 1 goal against Costa City. So all we can do is turn up and see, I suppose. Dave says, Gus wins biggest kitchen ever on a Swindon chat. See,
I can't compete. I'm happy with that.
I was going to say, Rob, you're a very poor second, really. Gus's kitchen is the size of Virginia, pretty much, isn't it? Really,
this is actually just pretty much the whole house is what you're looking at. So it is. I mean, it's one big room.
And I have to say, the dog is very well behaved. How hot is it there at the minute?
I think it's about 90 degrees. What is that in 30, 32 something?
Oh, that's quite cool compared to us, Vic.
Yeah, yeah.
I never thought we'd ever say that.
I'm not going to say this for any other reason that I did that 10K on Saturday and afterwards was basically melted. There was a pool of water on the floor after I finished. So, I know there's one in Chippenham on Wednesday. So good luck to all of those taking part in that one in Chippenham on Wednesday. I should be doing it virtually, whatever that might mean, but I'm going to do that. So good luck with that. Thomas, this is from Peter. Off topic slightly, I'm intrigued what attracted Gus to STFC. Good that he flies the flag over the Atlantic. Now, you do the very brief version because we have heard it quite a few times. But if you want to tell Peter quickly how you were attracted.
Sure, I'd be happy to. I think that 3 years ago, our family came to the UK for right around New Year's and just spent a week in London and had a great time. But we ran into some football fans in a couple of different pubs, and they seemed to be having a really good time. It was quite a few hours after the game, and I think they'd been in the pub for a long time in both cases. But so we were very intrigued. The next year we came back. We didn't go to the UK, but we decided when the kids came back from university for Christmas that we'd pick a team, and we almost literally threw a dart at a map to figure out what team we wanted. One that was near the Cotswolds, so we chose Swindon, which shows that we knew nothing. Or no, I'm sorry, we wanted the Lake District. We wanted the Lake District, and we chose Swindon. So we had no idea what we were doing. And just started watching on Boxing Day 2024, maybe is where the first game we watched.
Wimbledon.
And it went really well. I mean, that was a really good run for about 2.5 months after that.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. So we've been enjoying it so much, and we actually I need to get our supporter club memberships and make a donation to the night shelter. Actually, I'm going to do that as soon as we get off the phone and make a donation, because the night shelter seems like a really, really important and good community group that is working out there. So I just want to highlight their work. Can I also just say one thing? Vic just mentioned to me that in these friendlies that they play in preseason that they're doing, like down in Spain, that they have something called, is it visitors or outsiders or something? Trialists.
Yes.
That is so interesting. So you don't even know who they are, just some random walks on.
The reason is they're not contracted to the club. They're free agents, so they can't name them until they sign them. So they're just called trialists. So I think on Friday they're trialists B, C, D, and E.
That just adds a whole layer of excitement and fun. Like, who are these people? And I'm sure you try to all figure out who they are, because they all have. There's somebody, there's somebody who's played football in the UK or somewhere.
Yeah.
Really...
The thing is, when you see that, you immediately think they'll be wearing a 3-piece suit, and they're up for some, up before the beak or something. You know what I mean? He's a trialist. Okay. Yeah. Jamie. Chippenham tomorrow. I mean, we all like to go along, see any new players that we possibly signed, and have a look. Do they mean anything? It's all about fitness, isn't it?
Exactly. I don't think any of the pre-season really tells you very much. I mean, at the end of the day, in the past, we've had great pre-seasons and done terribly, and we've had really poor pre-seasons and gone to win a championship. So I don't think it tells you very much. I just hope that if we are getting to 2, 3, 4 more in, they get them in early, because I think that the key bit is using the pre-season friendlies to actually build some relationships on the pitch. I think too often we've used the first 3 or 4 games of the season to introduce people to each other. I think that would be the one thing. I do think there's an element of this year we have got continuity. It's not an entirely new team.
Yeah.
So I think that, rightly or wrongly, is a bit more positive, that hopefully they've had a chance to work together on building some of that rapport and that kind of match understanding. And you're adding a few additions on top rather than it being the core of the team. Hopefully those 3 or 4 new ones that come in now are going to add quality rather than being your backbone. To be honest, I'm a little bit, I hate to be too optimistic, but I'm a little bit more excited about having the likes of Glaxall back. Some of those that we effectively wrote off last season completely, that I think we missed badly in terms of the way that we played. Now I know there's obviously a big question mark over, do they get back to what we saw in the past, but hopefully part of these next few games is just building that fitness, building that understanding, starting to get some identity. I think is probably what I'm looking for, because I think we kind of got to a bit of a stage at the end of last season where I don't think we really knew what that identity was again. And for me, that's what pre-season should be about, is getting those patterns of play, getting that identity. How are we going to try and break people down rather than spending the first 10 games of the season trying to work it out?
Well, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Looking forward to a trip to Chippenham. Tony, did Palmer go to Spain or was he at Wrexham? Well, there were definitely pictures of him in Spain, so I assume he went there. Peter says, thanks, Gus, for explaining why. And Mark says, Gus, glad you picked Swindon Town, one of the oldest clubs in the country since 1879. So there you are. There we are. Let's have a look. Shirt. I like the new shirt, actually. It looks pretty good. It's a kind of almost. You've got one, haven't you, Jamie? You've bought a shirt.
Yeah, I was one of those down at the county ground on Saturday picking it up. I think we've had a lot worse. Definitely, I think it's a bit more retro. Yeah, I don't dislike it. I'm interested to see what the second kit's going to be. If I'm hoping that the second kit will be a bit of a reverse out of it, and it'd be nice to have something kind of similar but white or something.
Want to see Danny Butterworth play? I think we'd all welcome Danny Butterworth play. Certainly Gus would. He's a big favourite.
Is he not? I thought he wasn't with us anymore.
Well,
No, he's not got a contract yet, but he's been training with us.
Oh, he hasn't. Okay.
Yeah. I think we'd all like to see a fit Danny Butterworth because he adds a lot. I think it's fair to say. Gentlemen, thank you very much indeed. We are 2 days away from, hang on, how many, is it 4 World Cup semi-finals now? 66, 90, a couple of World Cups ago, and this one as well. So that's 4, isn't it? Yes. So, goodness me, it's time to get a bit nervous, I think. Next week, it'll be the Monday after the World Cup final. And goodness only knows what will have happened by then. Gus's prediction will have come true. They'll all receive the knighthood. Everybody in England will be lying prostrate on the floor after a heavy night. It'll be bonkers, won't it? So 7 days' time, we'll be back at 7 o'clock, barely able to speak, I think it's fair to say. Don't forget, Fools Rush In is on at 9 o'clock, Chris. So there we are.
Excellent. Thank you very much, everybody. And I just want to say that the Swindon kit is exactly the same as the Rangers kit in red. But hey, so yeah, we'll be back next week and we will see you all then. But until then, have a good week. Hope England can get through and we'll see you soon. Okay, see you later.
Thank you.